was.
Good evening, everybody.
How's everybody doing? Hey, Michelle. How are
Hey
you?
guys,
Hey,
wonderful. Y'all
good.
good?
Yeah, we all right. We
Good.
need a week's vacation to get over the weekend.
I hear that. You went through a
Absolutely.
little bit.
Yeah, the weekend was supposed to have been my vacation, but
Yeah.
didn't work out that way.
Nope. I was following your journey, and I'm glad it wasn't me this time. So I'm
It was
sorry, y'all.
expensive.
It
Yeah.
is.
It was an expensive journey for sure. Yeah, I
Yes,
was
it
trying to
was.
pull us up here on the.
Yes, it was an expensive journey, but
There
it's
we go.
behind us now.
Very much
Yeah.
behind us. Catch you guys up. Our hot water heater blew out. We had a pipe bust. It was a waterful weekend for sure.
Yeah.
We had to cancel plans that we had for an investigation over in Alabama Friday night. And man, I wanted to go so bad. But all
Mm-hmm.
that's behind us. And I'm telling you right now, we've got a good show tonight. I think it's going to be good. I don't know a lot about this subject. I was reading a little bit. Maybe you and Michael know more than I do about it. I hope y'all do, or it's not going to be a fun show. Hey,
I
Charles.
got my notes up, so hopefully I won't leave anything out. I've done
Oh,
a little
I
bit of
was
research.
Googling
Hey,
today for
Charles.
I was Googling today and trying to find some stuff, and I'm just like, I know nothing.
Yeah. I knew
I,
a little bit, but I dug a little deeper, so
Yeah, so did I.
yeah, Skinwalkers. That is, and
skinwalkers.
it's incredible. You know what little bit I did read about it.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've watched Skinwalker Ranch, but once or maybe twice.
Well,
I've seen
Skinwalker Ranch
snippets.
really doesn't represent what people talk about when they're talking about
Uh-uh.
skinwalkers.
No.
Skinwalkers go back to Navajo
Mm-hmm.
folklore,
Mm-hmm.
where they believe that witches or warlocks made a pact with the devil.
Or medicine man
Right.
or
Yeah,
whatever they
to
Yep.
to have the ability to transform into animals.
Animals, and then they
Yeah,
imitate the voices, manipulate fear.
yeah.
Yep.
So actually, the ranch. I mean, the ranch. Yeah, it's. They talk about skinwalkers on the ranch, but they're not really, getting to the basis of what was believed on skinwalkers.
Right. Yep. They fell short of the of the title, so
Yeah, yeah.
we'll
Now,
fill everybody in.
I do have a little story after I share this on the pages here real quick. I do have a story that a friend of mine told me about a skinwalker. Let me I'm struggling trying to get this on the pages here. Oh, there we go. I think I'm getting
There we go.
somewhere. I think I'm getting somewhere.
Yeah, girl.
There. I'm gonna share this on our page.
Good. What is that? Fox Paranormal?
Hey, there it goes.
Where can we find that? Fox Paranormal on the Book of Faces and
You can watch
on.
it on Fox Paranormal or just watch it here on the web because people have commented when I share it to the pages. We don't see them if
Oh,
they
okay.
comment on there. So the comments are going under
Yeah.
there for some reason. But it's
Okay.
always best for everybody to watch it on the Webb Radio Network because that way, if you comment, we're going to see it.
And that's on
I
YouTube under the same address, under the same name.
I believe so. I believe
Okay.
so. Um,
I'm excited to
so
hear the story, Destiny.
A friend of ours, and this story goes back to when he was a little boy. And I really trust what this man said because he's a good man. I've never known him to lie or do anything bad as far as that goes. But he was telling me when he was a little boy that his mom had, well, his family, not just his mom, had a man living in a little shack like off from their house. And he said he remembered as a kid, his mom would say, don't be down there messing with that man. Leave him alone. Just leave him alone. Don't go down there. Don't even go near that place. Don't mess with that man. Well, one day he's out playing and he saw the man outside. And he said this man actually changed his form,
Mm.
like shape shifted into a huge, massive cat. He said, I watched this happen, that he transformed from the man form into a giant cat. Well, I imagine, he just went running to the house. And of course, being scolded by his mother so many times, he wasn't apt to say anything that he had seen that. But years went by later, and he had the opportunity, once he got into adulthood, he asked his mother. I know he told her what he had seen, and she said, "Oh, you saw that?" He said, "Yeah, I saw it." Now, I don't remember if he ever got an answer or if she gave an explanation for it, but she did validate to him, you weren't crazy. You weren't having a bad dream. You really saw that. And so, you're thinking about skinwalkers in Mexico and, out west. This was Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
right here in Georgia.
Well, that's basically what a skinwalker is a shapeshifter.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're able to shift themselves into other shapes, especially animals. Uh, uh, the Navajo talked about they would shift, into wolves or werewolves and mountain lions, things like that. But the Navajo doesn't even want to
And
talk about skin.
coyotes.
Yeah,
Right.
She always
yeah,
makes fun
anything
of us.
like that.
But
But basically, the interesting part is they believe, these shapeshifters had made a pact with the devil to have this ability to do that.
okay, now is it possible? I'm just curious. Is it possible that this could be a gift to somebody? Maybe it's hereditary down the family line or something, and maybe not just medicine men or
Right.
you know.
Well, now my question is, are they really shape-shifting, or could they be projecting for people to interpret the phenomenon of them shape-shifting? Like, could we just be seeing, because you hear different stories. I saw a coyote, I saw a mountain lion, I saw a wolf. Well, I saw whatever. There very rarely does a group of people see the exact same thing. So could that just be like a manipulation and they're projecting it and it's how we are perceiving it?
Hmm.
Well, I'm going to tell you, anything's possible. And then I've got to think about what you and Bubba witnessed at Old South with me.
True.
Was it being mimicked by a skinwalker?
That's true.
You know, a lot of people call it
I think
doppelganger.
I was
I
going to say
mean,
yours was more of
it's
a doppelganger.
Yeah.
basically the same thing.
Well, not really. The doppelganger is a spirit that will take the form of somebody else in the ability to try to take
Oh,
their
well, that's
place.
right. I
Uh,
told you I didn't know much about
a
this.
skinwalker is supposedly has the ability to take shapes of different animals, being able to transform. A shapeshifter, transforming into other animals, wolves, dogs, cats, whatever, and stuff. But
Yeah.
it is possible. Are they actually transforming, or they're just transmitting this to the people's brains, that and
Right.
each
That's
person
Michelle
seeing
was
them
saying.
however the person, the shapeshifter wants them to see them.
Right.
Right.
Are they really shifting, or is it just an illusion?
Right. And
Well,
that's part of the Navajo, the common trait is shape shifting, deception, fear.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe they could be taken on the shape of what that person fears.
Hmm.
true.
Power of manipulation.
I know it did bleed over into Mexico because a lot of the Native Americans
Hmm.
crossed over the border into Mexico. When the early government was taking land away from the indigenous people, and a lot of them settled in Mexico. So the legend of the shape shifting could have been born that way into Mexico.
Right. Well, now it does, from what I've researched today, it does seem to go clear across the globe.
Yeah.
Like Islamic, they have the jinn. The
Mm.
Appalachians, it mimics Celtic, they call them fair folk. The indigenous Native Americans here is a trickster spirit. So it does seem to be in different regions and not necessarily just right here,
But
which
the
I found
common
interesting
denominator
too.
between all of them is the shape shifting.
Yes. The shape changing, the mimicking, the imitating the voices, the luring of the people. You hear them, you hear stories in the Appalachians. You hear the babies in the woods or the kids crying for help or banging on the doors pretending to be somebody else. So that is what seems to be their most common trait.
True. I don't know. It's an interesting subject.
It really
And,
is.
uh, because of the television program and other things, more people are interested in the topic anymore because, seeing it on television and hearing about it
Hmm.
on these different programs. So they're more curious about what are skinwalkers? Do they really exist?
Right.
Well, too,
Um,
I have heard a voice call my name before, but I didn't feel like it was trying to lure me anywhere.
Hmm.
Um, that happens quite a lot to Michael and myself. Or we'll hear somebody yell out, Michael.
mm,
It's been some time, but
Hmm.
yeah. And there was once that Michael and I were in the house. It's when my sister lived with us. Um, Michael thought he saw her. Well, she was walking to the mailbox, and at the same time, we heard her calling for Michael from inside the house to look out
Hmm.
the window and see her walking to the mailbox.
Yeah, that actually happened.
Yeah, it
Yes.
did. Sure did.
Yeah, sure did. But and you got to take in the possibilities too. A lot of these uh, people, with their traditions and the folklore, they believe the skinwalkers are the people that can transform themselves. Shapeshifters is demonic.
Yeah.
right.
So, what's their purpose for doing this?
Oh, huh. Let me think on that one for a minute. I'm not real sure.
Well, I think what I've studied on it. Their purpose is to strike fear, strike doubt into the victims' minds.
Yeah,
Harm?
Yeah,
Maybe physical harm?
eventually physical harm, but first they want to establish a mental harm, as far as
right. Like a
making.
psychological.
Yeah, it's just another form of combat. They're wanting to take over that person, and first thing they do is try to psychically or mentally break them down.
Right. Testing our boundaries, maybe.
Yeah, Charles says from South America to Alaska, all native people have tales from skinwalkers, Bigfoot, to other cryptic creatures. Well, taking it to Bigfoot here, and I had thoughts on this earlier.
Hmm.
Maybe it's the same thing. Maybe
Possibility, yeah.
changing into Bigfoot, Skinwalker.
Well, I haven't thought about that aspect of it. Yeah, that's quite possible. Uh, most of
I'm
them,
here just trying to add to the show because I'm out
yeah,
of my
yeah.
element.
No,
I'm just trying to
No.
no, you're
contribute.
not.
Well, I feel like they maybe do hunt vulnerability. The most people that they encounter often are alone or isolated. It's nighttime where our eyes don't focus well in the dark. We can see a deer and our brain automatically thinks, oh my gosh, it's something more than a deer. People are, deep in the woods, or they could be in emotional distress as it is. And, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody knows for sure. It would be interesting if we had, some people that's studied this subject more in depth as guests on the show. Uh,
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's fascinating just diving into what we do know
yeah,
and what we've researched today. Because I mean, I didn't know anything more than just the top level. So after researching more and looking into it, it's like it's a deep subject.
yeah,
It
it is.
really is. It really is.
Well, everything I read about it kept going back to the Navajo folklore.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, Navajo, is just one native tribe that lived at that point. So I don't know if it's just, them, or is it all indigenous people, different tribes across the country.
And I think it is. I think it does go further than just the Navajo.
Yeah.
Um, I don't, I don't know
Well, it
because I
has
mean
to.
the Navajo.
We didn't have Navajo here in Georgia. We had the
No.
Creek, Cherokee. I
Hmm.
mean, there's other little tribes that were around, but mostly the majority of the area where he lived at the time, too, would have been Cherokee or Creek Indians.
Hmm.
Right. Well, I mean, traditionally the skinwalkers come from the Navajo lore. The original stories that you hear, they describe a witch or the medicine person um, who have chosen to use their spiritual power for evil. So,
Right.
according to those stories, they disguise themselves as the animals and the voices and the manipulation. But one thing that I did read today was people also get wrong is that the skinwalkers aren't simply just werewolves or monsters. In
Oh
the
no.
traditional stories, they're believed to be human beings who actually cross that line
Mm-hmm.
more into something, more dark. So
Yeah.
I don't know, y'all. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Um, and you got to take into consideration too, all the indigenous tribes, I mean, pretty much believed in a spirit walk, that they would go on their spirit walks, where they would become one with Mother Earth,
Okay.
with a little help from peyote or whatever. But
Yeah.
they all would go on their spirit walks, and a lot of the description I've read on these spirit walks is they did have a lot of hallucinations.
So like a PCP type thing, you
Yeah.
think, or
Yeah. Charles says one of the biggest stories about Bigfoot was in South Georgia. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Charles did, this is off the subject, but Charles discovered the Maple Street Mansion today. He sent me a little video and he said, "Have you ever heard of this?" And I'm like, "Lord, yes."
We have talked about the Maple Street Mansion for
Yes,
years.
we've tried to investigate
Yeah.
that.
yeah, I wish we could get in there.
I know. We've tried, Charles. We have
Yeah.
tried
Yeah.
and tried, but it's always been a no-go.
Yeah. And then when we think it is a go, oh, we got somebody moving in. It's like, dang, come there.
Yeah. Always change owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back to Skinwalkers, how would you know if the animal that you're seeing is a skinwalker or really an animal?
Yeah.
How
That's a good
how
point.
would you know the difference?
From what I looked at, it is their traits. So some of the videos you see on like TikTok and whatever, they're showing a picture of their dog or the video of their dog, and they're like, "This is a skinwalker," and it's just the dog staring weirdly off into space or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe it's just their traits that don't quite align to what it would normally if it was that specific animal. I don't know. I've said I
Here's
don't know a million times. I don't know.
here at the house, there is a creepy thing that happens with our dogs. Um, we've got one, and why in the world they named that dog Sabor is beyond me. But the dog's name was Sabor. We don't have him anymore. But one night he was doing the craziest thing. He was out laying in the front yard, laying flat of his back. It was a full moon, and he was laying there just howling at the moon on his back.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, and with the dogs too, they'll stare off across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are woods across the road from us, but there's a big, huge bank. I mean, nothing could be on the bank. Well, I guess it could, but it would have to
Yeah.
hang on to a tree because it's a deep slope. Yeah. But they'll stare at that bank, and sometimes they just bark
Yeah.
and bark, but there's nothing there. Um, I did read, however, that they can lurk around. One could be lurking around you. But
A skinwalker.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Do you know every time I see a deer now, and every time I see a dog, I'm gonna be like, I wonder if that's real. But a lot of people say that if you shine a light on the animal, that their eyes will glow red. Well, if you take a picture of an animal, their eyes will glow red.
Sometimes,
But
yeah.
animals' eyes do change colors when you shine light on them sometimes. My
Yeah.
cats do, but not
Yeah.
red.
Blue, red, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we get red eye in pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least we used to on old school cameras. Maybe we do if we use flash on our phones. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, I guess it's not necessarily always just animals. You hear of the mimics who they call your name and
Mm-hmm.
try to lure you out, and they sound like your parents or your siblings or kids or somebody that you know their voice, and you look out and there's nothing there.
To me, that would lean me more toward the demonic side.
Okay.
And we know because the classes we've took in demonology and stuff that we were told a demon cannot take a perfect human form.
Right.
So can a skinwalker take a perfect form,
It's worth looking
or is there
into.
going to be some error in that?
Well, if you're going to look at it from the demonic side, demons can manifest and show themselves often, with the voice of a child.
Yeah.
So, if you want to look at it and assume that it's demonic, which, I can see the tie to
Mm-hmm.
it. I can. But, yeah, I do know that what little bit that I read about it, that skinwalkers are very, very violent. They
Mm-hmm.
have evil intentions, is the reason that they change. Malevolent, just
Yeah. Well,
evil intentions.
that goes back, to legend and folklore on it too, that
Mm.
they had evil intent.
Charles said since animals has more sense of environment, then that's why they are more susceptible to skinwalkers. Well, that too, and you take changing yourself into a wolf. Look at the super speed that you have.
Mm-hmm.
You can run just, I don't know how fast one can run, but uh, I've had a dog chase me before, and I was doing about 40 miles an hour, and it was
Right.
so the speed that an animal has, or if it were possible for them to turn into a bird. I know we see this on movies on TV, but if that were possible, they were able to fly around, and look at their prey or just look at the world in a different way from that height.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want to see one. So,
I don't ever really. I don't ever want to see one either. But I would
Mm-mm.
like to hear some eyewitness accounts that some
Right.
people have seen.
yes.
Just to get a feel for what they think they saw. And
Well, I'll put out the word, and if anybody has ever had an encounter with a skinwalker, or if you think it was, or whatever, hit us up. We'll do a part two.
That'd be cool.
It really would.
but as far as I'm concerned, the verdict is still out whether it's demonic or not. I
Right.
would lean more toward demonic because of the the legends behind it and the stories that's been told behind it. That these shapeshifters, they don't have any of them that I've ever read on had good intentions.
Mm-mm.
They always had evil intentions. So
Well, that doesn't always say that it is demonic, but when Michelle, when people have gone through what we've been through, I mean, that's the first thing you think of. And I
Right.
know people try to drive that point home all the time.
Mm-hmm.
First off, everything is not demonic. Well, no, everything is not. It is
no,
not. But there are some mean spirits, and they are not demonic. Um, Charles says the Jersey Devil would be a subject about shift changers, skinwalkers, and demons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I would put it in that
we
category.
actually did a when we were doing live streams from our page. We do that once a week for an hour every week, and
Yeah, we talked about
in
the Jersey
doing
Devil.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, we had someone that actually lived in that area on our podcast, and we had them call us on the phone to give us detail about something they had witnessed.
Well, you got the Jersey Devil, you got the Mothman.
Right.
These all could be shapeshifters.
It's
Could
true.
be.
Yeah.
Which would make sense why they never can find them.
True.
So
Yeah, they're probably all at Waffle House during the day eating breakfast.
Dadgummit.
Everybody goes to Waffle House.
Not my kid. We was talking about it earlier. He said, "Ooh, Mom, Waffle House? Go to IHOP." Like, well, I
yeah,
like IHOP
Yeah,
too.
I love IHOP.
I do too.
I do
IHOP's my
too.
pick too.
I love their omelets. But I
Yeah.
mean, back to the mimic thing, so I guess what bothers me more on the mimic side of things is um, a monster chasing you makes sense, but a predator hunting you and a predator hunting you also makes sense. But whenever something is pretending to be something else, that's like a psychological warfare,
Hmm.
that it's manipulation. It raises a much darker, question of why would something need to trick us? If they're so strong and so powerful, why do they need to get into our heads and try to trick us into, making us try to believe that they are something, stronger or something else? I hope
That's a
that
good
made
point.
sense. It made sense in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people seek after superpowers too. You know, um, I'd like to be able to run faster. I have two kids. I'd like to be able to chase after them and actually catch
Right?
them. And so, maybe it's the sense of having power is the reason people, to start with, based on what I've read, you've got to want this.
Yeah.
There's rituals that has to be done. There's things that you have to do in order to let this become part of you. And so, in doing so, it can change a person's personality, make somebody that just wants the power become evil. So, I would be thinking that a person that has that ability to do that would not be a kind person,
True.
because they had an evil intent, or they would not want to be. I would not really seriously want to be able to change it to an animal. I just wouldn't.
I just got flashes of the show that we like, Sookie Stackhouse. Good Lord, I can't think of the name of the show now. True Blood.
Sam,
The whole the whole True
Sam was
Blood series.
he was a
Yeah,
shape, I can't even say it. Shape shifter.
Yeah, he was a shapeshifter.
there
Those
you
double.
go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
True
So
blood.
yeah, I love it. But so you also you hear whenever the people are in the woods and all of a sudden there's no animals, no bugs are making noises, there's no wildlife, it just goes completely silent. And the reports that they say mention that phenomenon, but people also describe an unnatural silence, a stillness that is just chilling,
Hmm.
and I've never experienced anything like that. So I couldn't imagine you just being out somewhere and it's completely full of life and sounds, and then just all of a sudden, nothing. So why did it's like it just shut off? Somebody just pulled the cord. Why did it just shut off? Everything is quiet now.
Well, if you notice,
That
if you hear frogs or something or crickets and you walk
cicadas,
over
yeah,
close to where they are, what do?
they do. So
They
why are
stop.
they all of a sudden just stopping? Is it somebody? Is it a presence? Is it energies?
Hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, it does. It is creepy. It is creepy. Charles says, "Okay, I don't know if you have ever heard of a fox scream. It sounds like it's mimicking a woman screaming.
Yeah.
Same thing of a cougar. We have bobcats out in our area,
Hmm.
and they will scream. We had a couple that found themselves homeless at one time, and we let them stay out in my camper. It's just a little bitty, tiny. You can't move in there. It's
Mm-mm.
tiny, but we let them stay in there for a month or two until they could get straightened out and get their stuff together and go, which they did. They kept their word. It was only temporary. But one night we thought that man was killing his wife. We heard the ungodliest screams, just a female
Hmm.
screaming to the top of her lungs. And I'm like,
I had
Michael,
it happen.
out here. And we're like, do we need to go out there and see what's going
Right.
on? And then Michael would be like, but wait a minute, it doesn't sound like it's coming from there. We never figured out what it was. And
Yeah, I remember.
yeah,
I had it
everybody
happen
heard it. It was scary. So we don't know. Okay.
once
Uh,
here.
That was a woman being murdered out in our woods. Was it a shapeshifter? I don't
So I
know.
had so I had it happen once here, and it was so blood curdling that I mean every hair on my body just stood straight up. My eyes got big. I was convinced it was a banshee, and I was scared to death. That's exactly, and it was so loud. I've never in my life heard something like that. It was
Well,
terrifying.
you probably know it wasn't because usually if you hear the banshee
I'm
scream,
still here.
you're,
10
you're going
years later,
to
I'm
you're
still
leaving
here.
here. You're not going to be with us long.
Right. So I was terrified. So I guess it wasn't. It had to have been a bobcat or a cougar or something.
Mm, I don't know.
So, have you ever been like out in the woods or out camping or somewhere? 'Cause I know you're adventurous and I know your journeys, jeeping and stuff, mudding or whatever it is y'all call it. I don't do that because probably because I've never had a Jeep. If I had a Jeep, I might. But
It's fun.
have you ever just been out and then, you feel like something's watching you, but you
Yeah.
can see nothing there? I did
Yeah.
read a report where um, after seeing what they thought was a shapeshifter, it was like a large dog or something that didn't take the correct form. Maybe
Hmm.
not saying it was a werewolf, but it looked dog like, but not completely, you know, everything in the right place. Not long after reporting seeing that, they were out in these same woods later, very aware that whatever it was could have been watching them, or maybe, even a part of them maybe wanted to see it again
Hmm.
and try to figure out what it was. They were out in the woods, and then a dead still silence hit.
Yeah.
Like nothing was moving, like the
See,
wind wasn't blowing, nothing. And so, they've often wondered, according to their post that I found, not on Facebook, but you know how when you Google stories and then it says see more, and you can see where
right.
people have commented to those stories. Um, they often wondered if maybe it was that same thing watching them, but just not approaching them. I know that would definitely, I would not be back out in those woods.
See,
Hmm.
and that's what I'm also wondering too, is back to the whole manipulation thing. They create something just enough for you to obsess over, something for you to keep going back to and questioning and wondering. I just think it's a deep form of psychological manipulation.
Yeah. Well, it can mimic human voices. It can
Yeah.
mimic an animal. So it's a mimicker, you know.
Right. I mean, well,
And
it's
so
like too, you hear the Appalachian stories, don't whistle at night or don't answer voices outside after dark, don't wander into the woods alone, and don't follow strange lights.
now
Um,
they know some stuff.
yeah.
I'm on a
So
couple
I
of pages and stuff that my mother used to say and my grandmother, that's part of that. I mean,
right.
like the whistling and
Yeah. It's like my heritage, you don't whistle in the house. So I'll be watching some YouTube paranormal shows, and all of a sudden they start whistling, and I'm trying to mute it real quick. I'm like, no, we don't whistle inside
Mhm.
the house. So I get that, you know. So people they've never met, they share these same stories long before the internet, long before television, electricity. So I believe there's some
Mhm.
truth to them old timers
Absolutely.
stories.
Absolutely.
Well, that's how a lot of things are passed down from generation to generation. It's
Yeah.
by story.
So I mean, what if it's not them trying to prove that this exists, but they're actual warnings? Oh.
Yeah, Charles said he's experienced that something is watching while he's sitting on his porch and even been bush hogging on my tractor and felt the same thing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, you never know
Yeah.
what's watching you.
No, you
Well,
really
yeah,
don't.
you don't know what's out there watching you, and what type of animal or human or could be.
And when you think paranormal, I mean, it's more than just ghost.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
It's more than that. It's
Yeah.
more than demons. It's so much more. It's more than cryptids. I mean, it goes on and on. And just when you think you've heard of everything, you totally hear something new and different.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's just
So my
covered
question,
so much.
would y'all rather spend the night in a haunted house, supposed haunted house, like legit, let's go legit, haunted house, or one night alone out in the middle of the woods where you hear voices calling your names and you see these creatures or whatever they are? Where would you where would you rather be?
I think I'd have more control in the haunted house.
My big butt ain't gonna be in the woods by myself. It's
Mm-mm.
gonna happen. Now I would
Golly.
stay in a haunted house by myself. I
Yeah.
would do that.
We have.
And Michael would be, by myself, just
Oh,
Just
alone.
you. Yeah.
Of course, Michael would be setting off in the distance with binoculars, making sure I'm okay. Calling
Right?
them about, hey, baby, you okay? I'm worried about you, baby. I want you home with me.
Oh, I don't want to be out there. And I've done
Charles
many a nights
Charles
camping.
said, when I was younger, I was always told not to go out at night because the boogeyman would get you. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, is there something to this boogeyman stuff?
Could that
True.
be a skinwalker?
My son, it could be. It could be. Or maybe they just didn't want you to go outside because they were afraid you'd fall down in the dark or something. But
Who
I'm
knows?
telling you, why were we taught to fear something that growing up we became to know as not real, but feared it as a kid? There was one thing my son started, and we never, ever threatened him with a boogeyman. You know, there's no booger coming to get you. We never said anything like that. Ooh, big
What
loud.
was that?
There's a big loud something in front of the house.
Oh, on
Um,
my end, it sounded like a big cat. Wow, wow.
it's the Skinwalker. That's what it
That's
is.
what I was wondering.
But we never, ever would I allow anybody to say anything like that to Dylan.
Yeah.
But one night he comes running up the hall and he jumps in bed with me and he pulls the cover up over his head. And I said, and he hasn't started to school yet. So he couldn't have learned anything from school. I said, what's the matter with you? He said, Boobik's coming. He called it Boobik. And I
Huh.
said, who is Boobik? He said, he's the scary man. Boobik's coming, Mama. And he'd done that for quite some time before it finally went away. During that time, Dylan would have strange things happen in his room. Like he was in his room one day and the hairbrush, and you know how it's set up. Uh, there's a bathroom in between two bedrooms at the house. And the, the last room was Dylan's, and the one on the other side of the bathroom was his sister's. Stuff would fly out of his bathroom into his room, like the hairbrush, toothpaste, or whatever. And he would come in my room and he'd say, Mama, Boobik's throwing stuff at me. And I mean, but when he got older, it went away. He never said nothing like that again. But it was
Hmm.
during the age of 3 to maybe 5 or 6.
Mm.
It's when he would have weird things happen around him.
That's crazy. He's always been sensitive, though.
I think, and Charles said, but I've heard of a lot of people saying they were told the same thing. Where did it originate from? I don't know. It was like
Oh,
whoever said that you can't uh, do chores like sweep or mop or wash clothes on New Year's Day.
right.
You got to know some housewife somewhere in a little tiny village told her neighbor that, and she was like, oh, we'll wash somebody. Oh, we can't wash clothes, we can't clean the house, we can't do anything on New Year's Day. That's we can't do that because we'll wash somebody out of the house or we'll sweep somebody out of the family. And you know, I would be good with that if I could pick the one that we swept out or washing clothes made them wash out. And I bet you that's how that originated. Just a bunch of housewives trying to get out doing housework one day a
Well,
year.
very possible.
I commend them for that.
Me too.
But you know, it's like I kind of think maybe that story originated because people wanted their children in the house at night. You know, it's time for baths. It's time to settle down. You know, your parents are tired. They've worked all day. You know, they want to go to sleep. So what's the one thing they tell their children to scare them?
Right.
The boogeyman. We weren't scared of it as a
No.
kid. I mean, we would go outside and see if it was coming. And Mom would say,
Right. We're
"Go
a different
in
breed.
the house." Yeah, for real.
It's funny.
But it's so fascinating. I mean, in the story, even no deeper than we were able to scratch the surface tonight. It goes so much deeper, so much deeper. But I will put it out on our Fox Paranormal page, and I
Yeah, for
will
sure.
ask if there's anyone that's ever encountered a skinwalker or an animal you may have thought was one, ever been attacked by something that you thought maybe was a skinwalker, to get in touch with me. And if I get a couple of people, yeah, we'll do a skinwalkers part 2.
That'd be fun.
It is an interesting subject once you start reading up on it and start
Yeah.
reading up on the history behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That has been documented. Um, Basically, to me, skinwalker and a shapeshifter are the same thing. I believe the skinwalkers have the ability to change shapes.
Yeah.
Because even in the native lore on it, talked that they could change into different types of animals and birds and stuff.
Well,
Mhm.
a lot of indigenous people depended on their
Mm-hmm.
gods to protect them. And, you know, based on what I've learned through history, they had reason to really conjure up something evil to
Right.
protect their families, to, try and protect their land. And I get it. I
Yeah.
understand. And still today, the things that go on, I understand. And so probably they conjured up something, was able to manifest something like that to come
Mhm.
on their powerful men, to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was one of the things I read. They called it the old gods theory, and it was the researchers wondered whether these entities were once viewed as gods or spirits,
Mm-hmm.
nature forces. So over time, the religion changed, civilization changed, names changed. The old beings became monsters. So the question was, are we looking at folklore that evolved, or are we looking at memories of something ancient?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was
What
gunfire.
you got? That was weird, y'all. What you got going on over there?
I don't know, but I'm sitting right here. I ain't getting in it. Um,
Maybe a car
Yeah.
backfired going down the road.
No, that was gunfire.
I thought I heard a siren too. That's the back door. So we're sitting up here like, he says gunfire, but it's like, it sounded like it was coming from back behind us. And now we're hearing, where we're at, right, in the building. Okay.
Yeah.
One out there. Oh, we were hearing gunfire or something.
Okay, there is somebody in here. So nothing paranormal. Just Paradaddy.
Yeah.
But now we do know in the building that we're in, there are strange things that happen here too. So it wouldn't have surprised.
Definitely. Might have been something residual you heard. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? If it's not normal, it's paranormal.
It's definitely paranormal.
I've heard that somewhere before. Maybe we could take that on as one of our little
Yeah.
Little
things.
slogans.
Yeah, I
This
think it's already taken.
this has been an interesting subject, and really there was a
I've
lot
had
I
fun.
didn't know about it. It actually got me to reading up on it.
Mhm.
Destiny called me
Yeah.
early days. She says, "Read up on this subject, so we got
Yeah,
some."
because I had not been at work since Wednesday last week. And the week before that, I was battling that kidney stone, and I
Hmm.
missed some days out of work. And so I didn't have a choice but to work today and work all this week. So, the person who works in the office with me can have some time off too. Thankful she was, helpful and all this ordeal.
Able,
Uh,
yeah.
yes. Of course, I had a planned day off Friday, and Thursday's my off day. And so Wednesday to Monday is a long time. So it's like everything had piled up, and I was so busy all day. I procrastinated getting the information that I need. And I thought, oh, I'll just sit at work and I'll study up on this, and I was good. Well, I wasn't good. So, but I'm going to tell you something. We have something, this has been a good subject. I've enjoyed it. But we have something exciting coming up in August, and it's August the 8th and the 9th, and it's in Enterprise, Alabama, at the Enterprise Civic Center. You have to correct me if I'm wrong. Deep South Paracomic-Con. And just about anything is covered there. I mean, anything paranormal, it's going to be there. There's going to be somebody to represent that. But it is August the 8th and 9th at the Enterprise Civic Center. And also, they are still in need of vendors. And if you would like to be a vendor, there's lots of outside spots left. If you've got some kind of outdoor activity, maybe, I don't even know if they would want this or not, but if you've got a bouncy house or something, and you want to set up, to bring people over, or, if you do anything unusual that's outdoors, get in touch with deepsouthparacomicon.com. Pitch your idea to them. There's still vendor spots available, quite a few left outdoors. There's going to be a lot going on outside, just as much outside as inside. And I'm praying that, I have favor with Stan and Teresa Fikes, that they don't make me set my table up outside. I don't think they'd do that to me. So
They
No,
wouldn't.
I'm
we're
They
playing.
know.
guaranteed on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they know.
But I was just joking about that. But there's going to be some awesome guests there. I mean, starting out with um, Michael and Destiny Fox will be there. That's us, baby.
Yes, I
I
know.
can't hardly wait. Michael will be doing a couple of workshops, and the cost for these workshops are $11 each. And if you'll follow us on our page, Fox Paranormal, or Fox Paranormal Advertising, or The Darker Side of the Moon, or uh, Deep South Paracomicon page on Facebook. Y'all, I am doing a horrible job tonight. Y'all gonna have to replace me. But if you'll follow these pages, you'll have ticket information. It's on the website. Uh, Michael is going to be doing two workshops. One is going to be on how to safely handle a paranormal investigation, how to protect yourself. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, listen at this. This is going to be amazing. Have you ever just wanted to talk to a spirit but never have? Michael has a workshop for that. He is actually going to be giving a workshop on the portal. Now, I know the portal is an older device, and a lot of people have used it and they're tired of using it. We still get good results with that. And so, Michael is going to be demonstrating the portal and telling you exactly how it works. And who knows, if you buy a ticket for this workshop, which is $11, you may be able to speak with a spirit through that portal. And if you don't know what it is, hit me up. I'll tell you. And if I can't answer your question, we'll ship it over to Michael. But we're going to be there, and it's going to be fun. We are a staple there. We have been there every year. We have not missed a year, and it's always fun. We have Jatin Patel, the Redneck Raja, and I hear he is a funny guy, that you won't be disappointed in meeting him. Also, we have Robert Mukes, and it's Robert Mukes that was on Rob Zombie's
House of
House
a
of
Thousand
1000,
Corpses.
And then we have Richard and Colleen Johnson, paranormal investigators. He makes paranormal equipment at their table last year. She had cups everywhere. Their table was loaded with a lot of good stuff. And, come on out and see them. They are good people. We like Richard and Colleen Johnson. We also have Keith Age, the rock and roll ghost hunter. Keith Age is just a legend. I mean, he we had the privilege of riding him around from the motel back and forth to the con to take him to get something to eat or something. And he is just a good guy, good to talk to, fun to be around. And also, we were able to chauffeur around Ken Gerhard. Let me tell you something. If you've never watched his shows on TV, Michelle, look him up. He is amazing. Anything cryptid. Lee Triana Brown. She is going to be there. She's going to have several workshops. I believe she's bringing haunted items with her. You don't want to miss it. She's been on several TV shows. Debbie Hawk Hutchison, one of my favorite people. I love her. She's going to be there. She sets up a nice table too for you to buy from. Also, we have Martha Hazard Decker. She is a author. She has written lots of books, and I can't wait to meet her. We also have Alabama Ghostbusters, the Ashford Dothan division. Michelle, you're doing this on our next show. I'm running
Oh.
out of breath. Okay. Blaine Rowan. And we love Blaine. He is quite a character. He has good stories to tell. Also, we have Jeremy Leonard, the Cajun demonologist. I don't think I know who that is.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
never heard of them.
he's um, a dear friend of ours. 28 Days Haunted, Ghost of
Goes to Morgan City.
I always say Morgantown, Ghost of Morgan City. And, I remember seeing him on a little show on the Weather Channel too. I remember that years ago. I saw that and on episode or two of that show, Haunted, the Haunted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he's been on that. Also, we have James Stokes, and he was played a character. Now I get them mixed up. Teresa, Stan, help me. Was he Jason Voorhees or was he? Let me check my phone. They're not going to help me, so I don't know. I mean, he's if he's watching this, he's saying that Destiny Fox, I'm going to choke her to death in August. Jason, thank you. He played Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I've seen him on TV because we got on a binge on those shows one time. Matthew Brown, that is Lee Triana's husband. And I believe he has some workshops too that he does. Okay, next we have Gwen Johns. She is quite a character herself. We love Gwen. Also, we have, that may be it. We have Stan and Teresa Fikes. And they actually filmed for a TV show, and they sent me the link to it. And just as I was clicking on it and setting up Tubi so I could watch this, the phone rang. And it was an hour conversation with somebody. So I didn't get to it. I'm going to watch it. I promise. But all this and more, this con is growing and it's a huge event. And Michelle texted me, girl, LOL. I'm struggling. I'm struggling, y'all. I'm pitiful. I'm pitiful. But it's growing by the day. And if you want a vendor spot, jump in there because, in a few weeks you won't be able to get one. So I've sent a lot of messages out to some of my friends today that I know that go to cons and have unique things that they demonstrate or sell. This is going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Um, It's right when school starts back. So Michelle will probably be at work, so she won't get to
Yeah.
come this year. But I'm hoping some of our team get to go with us. That would be awesome. Have Fox Paranormal represented good. I remember um, Jeremy made a comment one time because every time I went somewhere, it was like Destiny can't go anywhere without her tribe. Her tribe is always there with her. Mary Hampton. Now, I am not familiar. That's a new name. Oh, and I hear that there's going to be Ghostbusters from just about all over the United States there at this, and it's going to be fun. So you don't want to miss it. August the 8th and 9th, deepsouthparacomicon.com, and get your tickets. Get your tickets. Come see us.
We'll be there.
We will be there. Other people will be there. And I think I've covered everybody. And you need to add anything? I think I've stumbled through the best of it.
I think you covered
I think
it all.
I've done the worst to the best of it.
I think you covered it all.
All right, guys. Michelle, good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
You're looking good, honey. Ain't seen you in a
Thank
while.
you. I miss you.
I miss you too. So the picture you made, remind me to tell you what somebody asked me about that. It's going to be funny.
Okay.
Till next week, Michael and Destiny Fox and Michele Perez. Peace and love.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
We're just like frozen.
Bye, y'all.
I thought about that movie Frozen. Lord have mercy. We're just like, I'm about to morph into something here.
We're still alive.
Oh, I hope not. I think we are.
Yeah. We're still alive. We just lost Michelle. We are still alive.
Oh, Stan. They got to see something funny.